Hello everyone, and thank you for scrolling in, clicking in, sliding in. Today we're working on a 2001 Mazda B4000 four-wheel drive truck. Pretty much the same as a Ranger with a 4.0. And what we're doing behind us over here would apply to a really sunny day. And what we're doing behind us over here would apply to like a B3000 four-wheel drive or a Ranger with a 3.0 four-wheel drive. This is a wheel bearing that we're replacing, and I figured I'd do a quick little video just to give somebody a little bit of rundown if they wanted to tackle this job themselves, and a few little ins and outs about the job. And the worst part about it probably will be just getting some of these bolts off the back, but if you move a few things out of the way, it's a doable thing. Let's flip the camera around and I'll give you a quick rundown. I started on this and I said, you know what, this needs to be shown. So let me do this real quick. So to start off the job, we would have had a front wheel on. We pulled the front wheel off. That was the 3/4 inch lug nuts. This big nut in the center right here, it was 1 1/4 inch. And if you have the original rims on them, or the center cap on it like this one was, you can actually put your big pull bar and extension and break that nut loose. That is 1 1/4 inch, by the way. And I recommend a 6-point socket. I have one of these here. It's an Impact 6-point 1 1/4 or 1 1/4 inch socket. And of course I have the luxury of some of these tools here, but if you're at the house doing it, you can get by with a big pull bar and a little bit of elbow grease, and then you can jack it up. Once you've got this nut broken loose, you can jack it up, or you can put a bar in here, you just hold this steel, but you break this nut loose however you decide to do that. And then on the back side of it, you've got some bolts that hold it on. Well, before we get there, we'll go ahead and we pulled the brake caliper off, and I tied it up so that the brake caliper's not hanging by the rubber brake hose. The rubber brake hose is fragile. It'll last for a long time as long as this thing's not dangling off of it. So we hang that up, and then after that, there's a bracket that the caliper mounts on. That's usually sitting over here, and it's just to give you an idea. It looks kind of like this right here. There's the bracket. You'll take these two. These were 14, crazy as all get out, but these here are 15 millimeter. And then once you do that, you're looking at this now. This is what you're going to be looking at. You'll see it all this open, and there's a wire that goes to a speed sensor. It just kind of goes along over here and hooks up right up underneath the deal here. It's actually right there where it plugs in at. Then you'll get that unplugged, and you can use some a combination wrench. I suggest a 6-point if you can get a 6-point combination wrench. If not, just be really careful with your 12-point. But that's our 15 millimeter. Break those loose and you turn those out. With this nut off here, these broken loose and that wire off, then you can just take your handy dandy hammer and you can tap around and break it loose. Then the wheel bearing slides out, and that's cool and all. But when I put the new one in, this wire's got to get behind this cover. So I removed these 2 bolts just enough to pull this cover forward. Then I put the new wheel bearing in and just reverse the procedure. Then this wire will just hook back up under over here. We'll just put everything back together. But this is a bolt-in wheel bearing, and with those few tools that I listed, this can be done by a do-it-yourself person. So thank you very much for watching this quick video on a wheel bearing replacement on this here Ranger. Just maybe save you a few bucks. Hope so. That's what we want to do. Saving people money saves America. Thank you guys for clicking in. We'll Fix It team, and we're out.